Yo, what's happening? So it's your boy ChanceJolivette, aka Smooth, back with another video, man. So tonight what we're gonna be talking about is The Walking Dead, Season 11, Episode 10, New Haunts. And while I'm still doing these videos, they talk about the episode after the episode. They got the Talking Deads, if that still comes on, I'm not sure. A million other people probably doing videos on this. Like, so people don't watch my videos on this anymore, but I've just been doing them for years and years, so I'm just kind of like keeping up the tradition. This is for traditional purposes. What can I bring different than other people? I don't know if necessarily different, but what I'm gonna bring is if you watch this, I'm gonna give like a little behind the scenes on this because I'm familiar with the comic books and stuff, so I'll let you know a little tidbits and stuff, like what is common with the comic book and stuff like that. So that's the reason to keep continuing watching this video right here. But anyways, so the beginning of the episode looked crazy. It looks like very haunting and very sinister and stuff. I'm like, that's not the normal look of The Walking Dead. Like maybe some of the episodes with the Whisperers when it was in the fog and stuff. But I'm like, this is. And then the Walker just kind of like it's trying to look too scary. I'm like, these are the characters that don't scare easy. So I'm like, this must be something else. So it turns out they're in like a haunted house. They're in a fun house type situation. So it's a carnival going on. And they have been in the Commonwealth for 30 days. So it's a 30-day jump from when we last seen our characters and stuff. They settling in. Everybody is getting their jobs and everything like that. Connie and the new governor, or whatever she is, they have a history. Connie was a reporter back in the days. And homegirl, she was running for big office and this and that, and she got her brother or somebody in her family, she got them disbarred or something like that. So I don't think the governor really gonna care for Connie in the future situations or whatever, but they did give her a job as a reporter because she was a reporter previously. So we're gonna see how that goes. Ezekiel went from a king back to a zookeeper. So you're a regular zookeeper, man. His health is looking good at this point. But then we find out Carol goes snooping around. She wants to look in the records and stuff. She finds out his health isn't looking that good. He can be helped, but the thing about it is the way that this society is based on classism and stuff. If you were poor or something in the beginning, you're going to be poor now. Status and this and that. Like, so your status, you were not important. You was the zookeeper, even though you was a king and this and that after the world shut down. You were a zookeeper before. You don't matter. So if we're going to have a surgery or anything like that, it's like you're going to be way at the back of the line. So that is how it is. He is not going to be able to get his surgery unless a miracle happens. Commonwealth stormtroopers, we see them training and stuff. They got to go through rigorous training. They doing like some team building exercises, like they forming tools, and they have one knife between the two of them and stuff. So Rosita and the dude, they doing their thing, and Daryl and another dude, they paired together. Rosita, she kind of does better in the team aspect. Daryl doesn't do well in the team aspect at all because he's used to doing things on his own and stuff. So homeboy almost dies. Big dude Mercer has to save him and stuff. And he's like, I see that you're not used to doing things on your own, but that's not how things work around here. Princess owns a record store. It looks like, I don't know if it's necessarily a record store, but she's selling records on the outside. They got this girl, she's a little ass kicker new friend, but she sees that little ass kicker, she's broke. But when you think about it, when she was born, the world was like done. She's never needed money. they didn't live by money or anything like that. It was just everybody has been equal. They did what they could for everybody else. Now it's a situation, they got money and stuff, and the homegirl, her friend, buys her a record. Like, she's amazed by just the receipt. Like, can I have the receipt? Like, she's never had reason to have a receipt or anything like that. So this is all new for a little ass kicker. Carol, she finds trouble everywhere she goes. Like, she's in an old wine cellar and stuff. She fighting walkers and this and that. But it turns out there's a reason for what she's doing. Commonwealth has all Daryl and crew weapons. Like, they have like a little task that they doing. I guess they want to help train the governor's son or something. And so he's about to get ate up with by a walker and stuff. He doesn't know how to handle himself. Daryl saves him, but it makes him look bad. So Mercer talks to him and he's like, look, you're gonna have to learn how to do things and stuff. You gotta let other people shine sometimes. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. You gotta feed their egos. The rich, you gotta feed their egos and stuff, man. So Daryl, he starts to see the dichotomy of things and how things are really ugly in certain ways. The kids want to stay a little ass kicker brother. They see this is like a sign of normalcy or something. They've never had anything like that. This is a society. They've always been on the road. They've been fighting in dirt. And Alexandria was somewhat regular, but it failed. Every time they got it into somewhere, it started to fall apart. So it still was like backwoods kind of living, just with some nice houses. So they like, we want to stay. This is a place that Daryl wouldn't stay. This is a place that he would fight against or whatever. I think the reason why you seen in the last episode that time jumping, he's into one of the stormtroopers or something, is because he wants to give the kids some kind of semblance of normal life, because they are his responsibility now. Carol is smart because she did get the wine and stuff from this cellar. That is something that they needed, that they wanted. They had been trying to make wine and stuff, or find wine, and it's something they weren't successful with. So she finds some good shit. And so she like, in exchange for this wine and stuff, man, like, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. I want Ezekiel to get a surgery and whatever. So that was her reason for trying to do that. Low-level people don't even have access to certain foods and stuff, man. You see the serving crew, and they're like, mangoes. My children will never get to have mangoes. Like, why you want, not my kids? It's like, God damn, they can't have a mango? Like, what y'all eating, dog food or something? It's like the rich eating caviar and y'all, what y'all eating, Spam? Like, it's some bullshit in this little place. We see they have like a red carpet event or whatever. Not the governor, but the male dude. Like, he's the backbone of the organization. He runs things kind of behind the scenes. The governor, she's the real head, but he's one that really runs things. And he wants to be loved. He's like, poking his chest out. But everybody's cheering for Mercer. And Mercer. He's mad. Because he wants that adulation. But he's not going to get it because they don't like you. They don't respect you. You just one of the rich. And so we see Mercer and Princess, they have a little like meeting or whatever of the minds. She's giving him compliments and this and that. She's into him. And it looked like he's into her as well. This is a strange pairing, but why does it make sense on the Walking Dead universe, on this show or whatever? In the comic book, they were romantically involved. So they're following the comic book because that's how things went. So we get inside the building, inside the ball or whatever. Connie and them, they trying to interview the governor and stuff, and it's like, what do you think about the dichotomy of this and that? How would you think your father would act, will respond to this classism and stuff? And she like brushes it off, but we see they have a rebellion of sorts. Princess, whenever she was abducted or whatever, whenever they had found the Commonwealth and they were in the train car or whatever, she had beat the stormtrooper up. Turns out that this stormtrooper, he lost his place. So he had to go backwards in society. So it really messed him up. So he's like, y'all don't care about us and this and that. He loses his shit. He puts a knife to a woman's throat and everything. And there is an uprising that is taking place or whatever. He gets away. Daryl and them they go catch him. So Daryl is the one when they catch him. He could get the scratch on his back, the pat on his back for a good job, but he uses Mercer's ideas, and he sees the governor's son, and he like, you can take him, you can have the credit. So he brings the governor's son brings homeboy back. It makes him look like he's a hero. He's not a hero. He's a zero. But then homeboy is like, you think it stops with me? There were thousands just like me. Down with the rich, the working class. And so there is an uprising going on, and they nervous about it. They like, do you think it's thousands? Make sure it's not thousands. So, and we see the crew overhear that. So they like, yeah, this is not looking too good. It's not looking too good, man. Ezekiel and Carol, they link up. Ezekiel brings Henry's old box or whatever. They drink some wine. So it was a good little reconciliation or whatever. Like, that's cool between them. At the end of the episode, man, Daryl is in the stormtrooper uniform, man. He looks crazy as hell. And then we see they send the stormtroopers on a mission. They are trying to find this uprising and stuff. And we see, like, in the lower class buildings or whatever, Daryl and Rosita was talking about it earlier on the episode. They're like, these walls are paper thin. Now, I can't get no sleep. Have you been able to sleep? Nah, these walls are so thin. Turns out, man, like, the people have cut the walls out and this and that. They have been, like, having secret meetings and stuff behind the walls. Like, that is where they gather. There is a lot of people that want to do this uprising and go and take down the class. And why is that important? In the comic books or whatever, whenever the Alexandrians do come into society and stuff, they start to see Rick. And Rick is real messed up in the comic books. Like, he has, like, one leg got broke real bad. Think Negan broke his leg real bad. And so he's kind of, like, crippled. He has one hand. The first governor cut his hand off and stuff. So he has a hook. He had a hook for the longest time. So Rick is real messed up in the comic books. But he's a leader. So he runs things. Like, people follow him. And so the people at Alexandria, the people in the Commonwealth, they see him. And they're like, we see how you treat your people, how y'all are equal and stuff. We want you to lead. And they follow Rick. And Rick is not, he's like, I'm not trying to mess anything up or whatever. But they like, Rick, we want Rick. We want to take down the governor and them. And that leads to Rick's demise in the comic books and stuff, because there is jealousy, and the governor's son ends up killing Rick or whatever. So that is what happens in the comic books. Rick looks like he might come back for the last season. Like, maybe not the second part, but I think they breaking up into a third part. And I seen some footage online where it looks like Rick and Daryl are together. So he might show up in the season. Do I think they're going to kill him and stuff? I doubt it. I don't think they will, because he's supposed to have his movies coming out. And in the comic book, how they had it was Rick ended up dying, but Carl was still alive. And so Carl kind of took the mantle, or kept his daddy's memory alive and this and that. And then Carl got into some trouble because he killed Lil Herschel's walkers. It was crazy. And so he had to, like, kind of leave the city, and then he had to turn himself in eventually and stuff. But then Michonne was a judge, And so Michonne let him loose. And so then he has a family of his own, and then the ends like he's reading a book of like the history of his grandfather. And whenever he did have to leave the city, whenever he had to kind of like run away or something, he met a bunch of people on the way. It was a bunch of people that Rick affected lives. Like it's like, oh, your father, he did this and he did this and he did this. And so you see, like when society like comes back, Rick is like such a big part of it because he affected so many people. So that was the importance of how like The Walking Dead ended and stuff. So that's a little history on like the end of Walking Dead. And I'll try to give you like some little more tidbits pertaining to future episodes. But I've always did that in these videos anyway. I always talk about the comic book in a certain sense. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe. Gonna be the greatest of the most. Hated man, holla at your boy. Peace.